Hi everybody, I hope you're all okay today. I'm going to read you another story today, and it's a mini beast one because Mrs. White read you what the ladybird heard last week, so I thought we could read a mini beast kind of story, and I think we might have read this one in school together as well, and it's this one, the Bumblebear. Do you remember it? Okay, we'll have a read. We've got Mugglewump with me as well. He's coming to listen. Brian's not here. He's having a sleep. He's a bit tired today. He's a bit sad because there's no sun out today. We've got the Bumblebear. Once there was a bear called Norman who really loved honey. He really loved it. And he was always sad when it ran out. But getting hold of more honey was always a bit tricky. If only I could be a bee, he sighed. I could have as much honey as I liked. And then Norman had a quite amazing and brilliant idea. There's his idea going off in his head. Bing! It was an ordinary morning at bee school. I wonder if the bees are still going to school at the moment. Hello, bees, said the Queen, who was in charge. We have a new bee at school today. Ooh, said all the little bees. Everybody say hello to Norman. Hello, said Norman. Ooh, said the little bees. Aren't you a bit big? Asked Amelia, who was a rather clever little bee. I'm a special bee, said Norman. I come from a land far away called Giant Bee Land. Said Amelia. But then it was time for lessons to start. This is what they do in bee school. They began the day with some painting. Then Norman joined in with buzzing practice before everyone settled down for a nap. The bees showed him all sorts of games during playtime, and Norman was brilliant at waggly dancing. Bee school is amazing, thought Norman. He couldn't wait to come back the next day. The next morning was even better. Norman was very good at finding smelly flowers. The bees really liked him. He was so funny and friendly, and he always tried his best. Even during flying lessons. Does it look like he's very good at flying? After lunch, the bees learned how to chase away anyone who came after their honey, like spiders, mice, toads, or bears. Amelia still felt there was something a bit odd about Norman. She tried to work out what it was. I think she realised. Uh-oh. Bears steal honey, smell bad, and roar lots. She's found it out in a book. Amelia told the other bees what she had found out, but they didn't believe her. Of course Norman's a bee, they said. Just look at him. He is not a bee, and I shall prove it, said Amelia. She took Norman to the bees' secret honey store. Well, when he saw all that honey, Norman just couldn't help himself. Uh-oh, I think he's feeling a bit excited and very hungry. After all, he really, really, really loved honey. See, Norman isn't a bee, he's a bear, said Amelia. What the jiggins? Gasped all the other little bees. Said Norman. I think he's feeling a bit guilty. He was asked to leave bee school at once. Oh, looking a bit sad and sorry for himself. With Norman gone, things were very quiet at bee school. Norman was such a funny bee, sighed the bees. Norman was such a busy bee, sighed Amelia. Norman was a naughty bear, said the Queen, and bee school is no place for bears. But later that night, the bees heard a loud crash and a diabolical roar. Oh no, they cried, it's a bear. And this bear was big and nasty. He had and trampled all over bee school. It grabbed the hive and started to shake it. The bees tumbled out in a panic. They tried to chase the bear away, but it was just too big and too bad. But then, a fearsome buzzing beast burst through the trees. Bzzz. Who is it? It's... Eek! Squealed the bear. It's a giant bee! And it ran away as fast as it could. The bees were saved and Norman was a hero. They gave him a big pot of honey and the Queen presented him with a special award. You definitely aren't a bee, said the Queen, but you are no ordinary bear. You are, I think, a Bumblebear. And Bumblebears were definitely allowed to go back to bee school. There he is outside the front gates. I hope we get to go back to school soon so we can all see each other again. So maybe having a think about the bug that was in this story. I know there was a bear, but there was also lots of bees in bee school. Maybe you could find out a little bit of information about buzzy bees, where they live, what they do, what their job is. And maybe if you could see in your garden, if you could take a picture of any. I've seen quite a lot of bumblebees out in my garden on the flowers. I hope you enjoyed that story. I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.